घर आवेंगे। खबर सुनाऊं, खुशी ये बताऊं, आज मेरे पिया घर आएंगे। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हे जी हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हेरी सखी मंगल गावो गीत, धरती अंबर सजावो री, उतरेगी आज मेरे पिया की सवारी। धरती अंबर सजावोरी, मोहे काला टीका लगावोरी, उनकी छवि से दिखूं मैं तो प्यारी। लक्ष्मी जीवारो नजर उतारो, आज मेरे पिया घर आ। रंगों से रंग मिले, नए नए ढंग खिले। ए जी रंगों से रंग मिले, नए नए ढंग खिले। खुशियाँ आज द्वारे डाल डेरा। पीहू पीहू पपीहारटे, कुहू कुहू कोयल जपे। पीहू पीहू पपीहारटे, कुहू कुहू कोयल जपे। आंगन आंगन है परियों ने घेरा। अनहद नाद बजाओ री सब मिल, आज मेरे पिया घर आवेंगे। आज मेरे पिया घर आवेंगे। Hare Krishna. परम सौभाग्य
We are extremely fortunate
श्री हरि नाम का आश्रय करते हुए
that we have taken the shelter of the holy names
सुंदर हरि भक्तों के साथ बैठकर
and we are
साधना करते हुए
gathered here
श्रीमद्
amongst
भागवत
all
कथा का
the
श्रवण
dedicated
करने का
devotees,
ये सुंदर अवसर
and we have got this opportunity
हम
to
सबके
listen
साथ में
about Shrimad Bhagavatam.
यूं तो आज श्रीमद् भागवत कथा का प्रथम दिन है
Although it is the first day
और
of
आज
Shrimad
के दिन की
Bhagavatam
बड़ी
Katha,
महिमा है
and today is an extremely
भारत
pious
में
day in
फाल्गुन मास
India,
शुक्ल
Falgun
पक्ष
Mas,
और
Shukla Paksh,
द्वितीया आज
Dvitiya.
तीज है
So today is the second
और
day
फाल्गुन शुक्ल द्वितीया
of the Falgun month.
हमारे ब्रज में
And in
बहुत सुंदर
Braj,
उत्सव ब्रज में
it is
बहुत सुंदर फेस्टिवल मनाया
celebrated
जाता है
in Braj with pomp
जिसे
and
हम
show.
फुलेरा द्विज कहते हैं
And it is called Fulera
फुलेरा
Dvij
दौज
or Dodge.
आपके मन में ये भी हुआ होगा कि भाई शुरुआत में मंगलाचरण होता है
You might be
ये
thinking
ऐसा
that
क्या हो गया
we
है
start with
ये
Manglacharan
गीत
or
ही मेरा
veneration,
मंगलाचरण है आज
but
क्योंकि आज
we started with a song. But this
ब्रह्म
song itself
वैवर्त
is a
पुराण
venerate
और गर्ग
because in
संहिता के अनुसार
Brahma Vaivat Puran
राधा
and
और कृष्ण का विवाह हुआ है
Brahma
आज
Samhita,
फाल्गुन मास
today
शुक्ल
is the
पक्ष
day when
द्वितीया के दिन
Srimati
आज के
Radharani
दिन
and Lord Shri Krishna
माता
got
ब्रह्मा ने
married
भांडीर वन में राधा और
in
कृष्ण का विवाह
Bhandirvan.
कराया था
They got married
सो
by
कथा का
Sri
प्रथम दिन
Brahmaji. So
और
today is
राधा
the first
कृष्ण का
day,
विवाह
and today
दोनों
is the
लोग
auspicious day of
ये
their
बहुत सुंदर
marriage,
योग
and it
आज
is a
स्थापित हुआ
coincidence, which is a very beautiful coincidence, which has
सो
been
सर्वप्रथम
established.
आज के दिन की
So,
महिमा
first
को
of all,
समझते हुए
we would
हम
like
सब
to understand the
राधा और
glories
कृष्ण
of
की
this
इस
day,
विवाह लीला को
and we will
ब्रह्म
listen
वैवर्त पुराण के
from Brahma
66वें
Vaivarta
अध्याय से
Puran from the 66th
समझने का
chapter,
कुछ
and
चिंतन
we
मंथन
will
करने का
try to
प्रयास
contemplate
करेंगे
and understand this
यूं तो ये
today.
ग्रंथ वेदव्यास मुनि ने लिखा है
Although this
परंतु यह कथा स्वयं
was written
भगवान
by
नारायण
Srila
स्वरूप
Vedvyas ji, but this
भगवान
pastime
नारायण
was
कहते हैं
mentioned by Lord Narayan himself, and he says, the verse in front of your screens.
एकदा कृष्ण सहितो हेजिनंदो वृंदा वनम ययो तत्रोपवन भांडीरे चारयामास गोधनम आज के दिन आज से
So
5,500 वर्ष पूर्व
today's day,
आज के दिन की घटना
5,500 years
ब्रह्म
ago,
वैवर्त पुराण में
this
आप सुनिए
pastime happened, and
किस
it is
प्रकार से
mentioned in
राधा
Brahma
कृष्ण
Vaivarta
का विवाह हुआ
Purana.
आस्वादन कीजिए अपने विवाह की डेट तो सब याद रखते हैं एक भी
We
बता
all
सकता है कि
remember
अपने विवाह
the
की डेट
date
याद
of
है
our marriage,
लेकिन यार भगवान के विवाह की
but
डेट
what
ये तो
about the
आधे लोगों को भी
marriage
नहीं पता होगी
date of
मैंने उसका
Lord's
पाठ मांडा
marriage?
अच्छा
So
हुआ
I'm sure that half of
अभिषेक
us won't be
ये
aware.
अमेरिका वालों के
We're,
लिए
fort-
अच्छा है कल है लेकिन भारतवासियों के लिए तो
we're
आज
fortunate that
मैरिज
we
एनिवर्सरी
started
है
this katha today,
राधा और कृष्ण की
and we are able to listen to this
सो
and get the awareness of the piety of this day.
श्री भगवान नारायण कहते हैं श्री व्यास मुनि
Sri
ब्रह्म वैवर्त
Bhagwan
में लिखते हैं
Narayan
एक
says,
कथा
and
एक समय था
Vedvyas Muni writes in
जब
Brahma
ब्रह्म
Vaivarta
वैवर्त श्री
Purana,
कृष्ण 1-2 साल के होंगे
So Lord Sri Krishna is just 1 or 2 years old.
और एक दिन
He's
नंद बाबा के मन में इच्छा
extremely
हुई
small. And Nand Baba
कि
had a
आज मैं वहां पर
desire
गैया चराने जा रहा हूँ
that I am going
और बड़ा होकर
to
कृष्ण ने
take the
गोपाल
cows
बनाएगा,
to the
कृष्ण भी
forest,
गैया को
and
चराएगा।
in future Krishna
क्यों
too
ना
will
छोटे से
have
लाला
the
को
same
गैया को वहीं पे मेरे
responsibility.
साथ लेकर चलूं।
So why don't I
तो
accompany
एक दिन
him
नंद
with
बाबा
me or take him with
कहते हैं
me?
एकदा
So it is
कृष्ण
mentioned
सहितो
Ekada,
नंद
that is once upon a time,
वृंदावनम ययो।
Krishna Sahito Nando,
अकेले नंद बाबा नहीं,
Vrindavanongayo,
कृष्ण सहित
means
नंद बाबा
Nand Baba
ब्रज में गए गैया
went
चराने के
with
लिए।
Krishna
कभी
to
कभी होता है ना,
Braja
कुछ बिजनेस
to
करने वाले
take
लोग
the cows to the
अपने बच्चों
cowherd,
को अपने बिजनेस ऑफिस
to
में
take the
कभी कभी
cows to the
लेकर जाते
forest.
हैं, तो ऐसे
So
ही कुछ
sometimes it so happens that people take their kids to a business event or something like that.
सुनो। महामंत्र बोलिए अमित नारायण प्रभु 3 बार।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे।
महामंत्र बोलिए अमित नारायण।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
राधे। एकदा
So
कृष्ण
Ekada,
सहितो
Krishna Sahito means
नंदो
once upon a
वृंदावन ययो।
time,
श्री नंद
Krishna
बाबा
Sahito means
वृंदावन
with
में
Krishna,
गैया
Nando
चराने गए।
Vrindavan Yayo means Nand Maharaj went to
तत्र
Vrindavan
गोकुल भांडीरे, और गैया चराते
to
चराते
graze the
कहाँ पहुंचे?
cows.
बोले भांडीर
And
वन में।
where did they reach eventually? To
और
Bhandirvan.
चारिया मास गोधनम, और भांडीर वन में जाकर
And
गोधन को चराने लगे।
Charya Masa Godana means
अब देखिए बहुत सुंदर इसमें
grazed
एक
the
व्यावहारिक
cows.
शिक्षा भी मिलती है
So
कि कृष्ण
we get
किसको
a
गोद में ले रखे
principle
हैं
here
और
that
9 लाख गैया चर रही है।
the 9 lakh
जब गैया
cows are
चरने के
grazing,
बाद
and
गौ
was
माता को प्यास
Nanda
लगी, क्या
Maharaj
हुआ?
has
कहते हैं
is holding
सरह
Krishna in his hands,
स्वादु
and
तोयश्च।
they became
नंद बाबा सभी
thirsty.
गैया को
So
लेकर
it is mentioned
सरोवर के पास
further,
पहुंचे भांडीर वन में, और उस
Sur
भांडीर वन में
Swadto
बहुत सुंदर
Yacha
सरोवर
means
था,
they went
और
to
सरोवर का जल
the
सुस्वादु,
lake, and the water
उस
was
सरोवर
very
का
sweet
सुस्वादु जल श्री नंद
or
बाबा ने
very tasteful.
पायया मास पहले गौ माता को पिलाया।
And Nand
अब आप
Maharaj
देखिए, जब
first
नंद बाबा
allowed the
दोनों एक साथ घर से
cows
निकले थे,
to
तो
drink the
जिनकी
water
प्यास
first.
गाय माता को लगी,
So
उनकी
although they
नंद
both
बाबा
have
को लगी,
started
नंद बाबा को
together,
लगी।
but so they were equally
लेकिन
thirsty.
नंद बाबा ने क्या
But
किया?
what
पायया
did
मास
Nand Baba
संस्कृत
do?
में गौ
Paya
माता
ya
को
masa
पायया मास
means
जल पान
he
कराया, और
he
तत्पयो,
first
और उसके बाद स्वयं पान
made the
किया।
cows drink the water, and then
हम होते तो
Tatpayo
पहले हम
means
पीते और फिर पशु पक्षियों को पिलाते।
that
लेकिन नंद बाबा का गौ माता
he
के प्रति यह सुंदर भाव है, प्रेम है।
made them drink first, and then
उस भांडीर
afterwards
वन में गैया
he
चर रही
drank
है, और
himself.
गैया चरते हुए
So that is a
प्यास लगी
principle.
तो सुंदर सरोवर का जल पान कराया, और ततः पपो स्वयं नंद बाबा ने पिया,
And
कृष्ण को पिलाया।
after the cause was satisfied,
और
they
जल पी लेने के
drank
बाद
themselves,
वास वृक्ष मूले, वहां पांडिर वन में एक बहुत सुंदर वृक्ष है, उस वृक्ष के
and
नीचे नंद बाबा बैठे,
there is
ऐसे
a
बालम कृत्वा
beautiful
सो
tree
वक्षसी,
there,
अपने
and
बाल को, अपने बाल
and
गोपाल को, लड्डू गोपाल को, कृष्ण को
he
कृत्वा
was
स्व वक्षसी,
carrying
अपने
his
वक्ष में, अपने
child Krishna
गोद में लेकर कृष्ण एक
in
वृक्ष के
such a
नीचे नंद बाबा
way
बैठ गए।
that
कुछ देर नंद बाबा रेस्ट
he
कर रहे थे,
was
दोपहर का समय हो चुका था,
touching his
थोड़ा
heart,
रेस्ट कर
and
रहे थे।
so they were resting under the
तब भगवान
tree,
नारायण कहते हैं, व्यास मुनि
and
लिखते हैं,
Narayan Muni says,
एतस्मिन् अंतरे कृष्ण माया मानुष विग्रह, कृष्ण तो कृष्ण है।
so Shri Narayan
उस बीच
says
में क्या
that
हुआ,
Krishna
जब वो
is
वृक्ष के नीचे
Krishna,
बैठे
and
थे,
so they were
तो
sitting under the
कृष्ण
tree, and Krishna,
जिसने माया से मनुष्य विग्रह प्राप्त किया है,
who had got
कृष्ण
this
जो योग माया से
this
मनुष्य लीला कर रहे
material
हैं,
body, or who
ऐसी
is performing the
अविनाशी कृष्ण
material
ने
activities
चकार माया, अपनी माया से
with the
चकार
help of
अचानक
his
कुछ किया।
external potency,
क्या किया कृष्ण
that
ने?
is Mahamaya,
कस्मान एच्छाद अन्नम नभो मुने,
and
भगवान
he
श्री
did
कृष्ण ने अचानक
something
नभ को,
with his
बिल्कुल दोपहर
potency.
का समय था लेकिन आकाश में
And,
अंधेरा छा गया,
and what happened is, in the
अनेक प्रकार के मेघ
midst
बादलों
of
से आकाश पूर्ण भर गया,
sun, in the afternoon, the
और
sky
धीरे
was
धीरे
filled with
धीरे
clouds and it became
मेघावृतम
dark.
नभो दृष्टवा,
And Meghavratam
नंद बाबा
Nabho
ने देखा कि
Drishtva
आकाश
means
मेघों से
Nanda Baba
आवृत हो गया,
saw that the
काले
sky was
बादलों से
covered with
आवृत हो गया, दृष्टवा
black
श्यामलम
clouds. Drishtva
कानन
Shyamalam,
अंतरम, और उस
Kanan
कानन में,
Antaram
उस वन
means
में, कानन
in
माने
that
वन में,
forest,
श्यामलम दृष्टवा माने उस वन में पूरा अंधेरा छा
Shyalam,
गया,
Shyamalam means that
उस
it
अंधेरे में
became dark,
साक्षात
and
झांझावात
Drishtva means he saw.
झांझावात होने लगा, महाशब्दम, बादल गरजने लगे, बिजली
And
कड़कने लगी, वज्र शब्दश्च
the
स्फुरणम,
thunderbolts were firing here and
और
there. There
वज्रपात
was
होने वाला हो
so much
ऐसा भयंकर काल
lightning,
होने लगा। अब नंद बाबा मन में सोचे कि आज
and
ही मैं कृष्ण को
Nand
अपने साथ
Baba was
लेकर
thinking
आया,
that today
और ये
I
आज
brought
ही होना,
Krishna with me, and this
लेकिन
happened.
बेचारे
This
नंद
is
बाबा
happening
क्या
today.
जानते थे कि ये
And
कराने
Nand
वाला
Baba
तो
is
कृष्ण ही तो
unaware
है,
that that Krishna
इसलिए
himself is
अभिनव
performing all
माइकपात
this
विग्रहम,
proclivity.
ये लीला कृष्ण की है, लेकिन नंद बाबा
So
अफसोस कर रहे हैं,
this
माथा पीट रहे हैं,
pastime is
मैं खाली फोकट
done
कृष्ण को
by
साथ लेकर आया,
Krishna, but
और
Nand
जब
Baba is
देखा
blaming himself
बादल
that
गरजने लगे, बिजली
I
कड़कने
have
लगी,
bought
और फिर तो
Krishna
वृष्टि धाराम मृति
unnecessarily.
स्थूलाम,
And then what
भयंकर
happened?
वर्षा होने लगी, स्थूलाम माने
Vrishti Dhara
बारिश
Mriti
की
Sthula
मोटी मोटी
means
बूंदें गिरने
that
लगी,
the
वृष्टि
rain,
धाराम
heavy
मृति
rain
स्थूलाम,
started to fall,
कंपनानश्च पादकान, और इतनी बारिश होने लगी
and it
कि
was raining
पादपान,
so
पादप माने होता
much
है वृक्ष,
that
वृक्ष को
Padapan
पादप
means
क्यों कहते हैं?
trees.
आप
So
पहली लाइन के
why
बीच में एक शब्द है ना,
they
पादपान
are
माने वृक्षान, तो वृक्ष को पादप कहते हैं, पाद माने
why the
पग,
trees are called Padapan?
और प माने
Pad
पीना,
means
वृक्ष जो है पग से जल को पीते हैं, इसलिए वृक्ष का नाम है
feet,
पादप,
and Pan is
पग
to
से
drink
जल
water.
को पीना, पग
So
से
they
जल
drink
को पीना,
water through their
तो
feet. That is
पादपान
why they're called
कंपनश्च,
Padapan.
सारे वृक्ष कांपने लगे, ये
And
गिरे
all the
वो गिरे,
trees were
इस प्रकार
trembling
की
that
परिस्थिति होने लगी,
they were about to
वृष्टि
fall.
एवं पतित,
And when
नंदो
this
भयम
kind of
विमुक्त,
situation arose,
और नंद बाबा के देखते देखते वृक्ष गिरने लगे, और
and the
नंद
trees
बाबा
started
पूर्ण भयभीत से
falling,
होने लगे,
and Nand Baba became
और
scared
नंद
and
बाबा सोचते
anxious,
हैं,
and
मन ही
he
मन में
starts
विचार
to
करते
think
हैं,
in
ये नंद
his
बाबा के विचार हैं जो
mind.
व्यास जी ने श्लोक में लिख दिया, कितनी अच्छी बात
So
है,
Vyas
नंद
Muni
बाबा जो
writes
विचार
what Nand
करते हैं,
Baba
सबसे पहले तो
was
अफसोस करते हैं,
thinking
क्यों
or
मैं कृष्ण को
contemplating.
लेकर आया,
So first of all, Nand Baba
और अब
was
जब कृष्ण को लेकर
thinking
आया और
or
देखा
blaming
कि
himself that why did
झंझावात,
I bought
तूफान, ओले,
Krishna
वर्षा,
with me?
भूकंप,
And there is
ये सब गिरने
such
लगे,
a
अंधेरा हो गया, तो कथम
bad weather
पश्यामि
today.
पुंसान, अब मैं ये गाय और
He was worried that how I'm going to take these cows and calves in such a weather. So for to take them home safely, he will have to run. But with a kid in his hand, how is he going to manage all this? And he was also thinking that how I can leave them like this. And if I don't go reach on time, then how my child will be saved? Because he also needs to be fed on time. So in this manner, Nand Maharaj was worried. So by the time Narad Muni, oh, Nand Maharaj was worried, and Krishna, on top of it, Krishna started crying. Rurod means he started to cry. Shri Harista means Lord Krishna. So there is nobody comparable to Vyas Muni. So doesn't means that Krishna is an ordinary child like our material kids who cry and they they have running nose and tears everywhere. No, but this is Hari. He, although he is crying, but yet he is
शोभा कृष्ण कृपाणु जिनी रखी शोभा सळगे सगळी वासना सळगे सगळी वासना यमुना जलमा केसर गोળી અને સ્નાન કરાવું શ્યામળા.
So although he is crying, he is not an ordinary child. He is attracting the hearts of people. Shri Hari word is used specifically to stress on this point. While Nand Maharaj was anxious and just thinking, what should I do? In the meanwhile, Krishna started to cry. And for some time, Nand Baba thought that I will leave Krishna under the tree, but because of the fear of so much rain and thunderstorm, even Lord Shri Krishna became fearful and he got hold or embraced Nand Baba tightly on his neck. And now Nand Baba became more worried. Ki, what I'm supposed to do? The trees are falling. What should I do? And at the same moment, Nand Baba is in extreme distress and he saw that there was a effulgence coming from far, far away. And when Nand Baba concentrated and he saw a beautiful girl and who was no other than Srimati Radharani. So Nand Baba got a second lease of life that at least I found someone in this forest. He addressed Srimati Radharani that, what were you doing here? So he said that my mother has sent. He said that I don't have much time. would you do me a favor? Would you drop Kanhaiya to Gokul at my home so that I can just gather all my cows and take them home? So Nand Baba became overwhelmed and he was extremely grateful to her. And in this way, Srimati Radharani took Lord Shri Krishna with him. Just imagine that Radha and Krishna holding each other's hands and walking. And to see this, even Lord Sri Brahma came down and Vyasmuni writes, to see this, Lord Brahma manifested himself. That Lord Sri Krishna and Radhaji are walking hands in hands. And Brahmaji became overwhelmed with tears. And Brahmaji started to wash the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna with his tears. And he beautifully venerated the Lord and Srimati Radharani. He thought that I have tried to please Lord Shri Krishna, and the result of my austerity was that I got the darshan of Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani says that I bless you or give benediction that you will progress in your bhakti. I'm extremely happy and ecstatic because Krishna is with me. So you can ask me anything that you desire. So Brahmaji told a principle which we should try to apply in our lives. Brahmaji says,
भूता तुल्या कृष्णे न सर्वतः श्री कृष्ण त्वमयं राधा त्वं राधा हरि स्वयं. ब्रह्मा जी ने बहुत सुंदर बात कही.
Brahmaji said that Tvam Krishna Anga Sambha, that you have manifested from the half of Krishna's body, and that is why you are equivalent or similar to Lord Shri Krishna. So there is Radha and Krishna are no different from each other, and there is no difference between them. Sometimes foolish people of this world says that did Radha and Krishna married? Now you venerate Radha and Krishna as a couple, but were they married? So I just want to say a simple thing that marriage is among people who are different from each other, to different bodies, to different souls, to different families, and to combine them is the process to get married. But Radha and Krishna are one, they are non-different. Then how can they be married? This is what Brahmaji is trying to explain to us. When you are as good as Krishna, so there is no question or arising of their marriage. So if someone asks you that so many people are there, if I say that Sunil Bhai, did you got married to Sunil Bhai? Because this is the same person, then how can they get married to each other? So Radha and Krishna are one. So there is no question of them getting married. So this is what Brahmaji is trying to explain through the medium of this verse. He says that you both are one and there is no necessity to get married, but it would be difficult to explain the people of Kali Yuga, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, because they will have very small wisdom. So although you need not to get married, but for them, and because you have manifested and you have asked me for a benediction, so I pray to you and request that please give me an opportunity to marry you both. So Nand Baba is gathering his cows. He will be busy there, and nobody is coming from your home. So this is a perfect time for you to get married. Again, he stresses that you both are non-different, but now that I've got this opportunity and we will be able to settle a principle and people won't be able to condemn in future. So, Brahma ji himself is the creator and he asked for such a benediction, and Lord answered. So Radha and Krishna were looking at each other and they agreed that yeah, we'll get married, but because it's a desire of a Brahmana. So Brahmaji said that I will do it very fast, and they both were made to sit, and Brahmaji himself became, he stopped the Manik stump or pillar.
कंकु छाटी कंकोतरी मोकलो एजिकेसर छाटी कंकोतरी मोकलो एमा लखो मारे राधाजी ना नाम माणिक स्तंभ रोपियो जेनी जग मां मळे नहीं जोड़ मारे राधाजी नागर वेल नो छोड़ माणिक स्तंभ रोपियो पेली कंकोत्री पेली कंकोत्री कोना घरे मोकलशो યજમાનના ઘરે જ મોકલે ને બળદેવભાઈ કોના ઘરે મોકલીએ હાલો પેલી કંકોત્રી આપણે શ્યામ સુંદર પ્રભુના ઘરે મોકલી દઈએ એટલે આમાં બધા આવી જાય ભૂમિકાબેન સુનિલભાઈ મનીષાબેન બધા આવી જાય પેલી કંકોત્રી શ્યામ સુંદર પ્રભુ ઘેર મોકલો प्रभु जी होशे राधा जी परणावो माणिक स्तंभ रोपियो। हेलो बीजी कंकोत्री, ये मेरे बाजू में जितने बैठे हैं બીજી કંકોત્રી અમૃત ચર્ચા મોકલો. એ અમૃત ચર્ચા ભક્ત વેલા વેલા આવો, માણેક સ્તંભ રોપી. હવે ત્રીજી કંકોત્રી કોને મોકલશો? યજમાન થઈ ગયા, તમે બધા થઈ ગયા, તો મને કંકોત્રી ના આવી જોઈએ? હે, મેરા ભી કુછ તો બનતા હૈ, મુझे તો આના चाहिए ના. હાલો ત્રીજી કંકોત્રી લાલ ગોવિંદ ઘેર મોકલો. હે ગોવિંદ હર ખે રાધાજી પરણાવો, માણેક સ્તંભ રોપી. सौभाग्य की बात यह है
We are extremely fortunate that this katha has started from this day. On this day, 5,500
इस प्रकार ब्रह्मा जी ने
years before, this pastime happened. And Brahmaji married Radha and Krishna in Bhandur 1. And Brahmaji followed the standard procedure, and Vyasji writes, so what he did was he took Krishna's and Radha's hand, and according to the process, in Gujarati it is mentioned as hast milap, that is, they keep their hands, they bring their hands together. So somebody asked that why this hast milap is done during the marriage. So I told that when there is a boxing match, so before they start the match or fighting, what they do, they shake their hands and then they start. So as they are supposed to, they'll fight forever. So that is the reason they shake their hands and hast milap is done. And according to the process, Radha and Krishna's hast milap or handshake was done by Lord Brahma. And after that, the fire yajna sacrifice manifested, and they circumambulated the yajnas.
પેલું પેલું મંગળી
Sacrifice.
વરતાય રે, પેલે મંગળ સેનારે દાન દેવાય રે, પેલે મંગળ ભૂમિના દાન દેવાય રે, બીજું રે બીજું મંગળિયું વરતાય રે. तो पहला जो अग्नि की साक्षी में जो प्रदक्षिणा होती है,
in the presence of the yajna sacrifice, that is fire,
फिर अग्नि की दूसरी प्रदक्षिणा जब होती है,
so they were circumambulating the fire, and in the second round kumkum was provided in the so in this way Brahmaji performed the process.
और फिर और एक विधि आती है,
And then after that there is one more process, a procedure which Brahmaji performed.
एक बहुत सुंदर विधि कहते हैं पारिजात प्रसूतान.
He says that Parijat Prasutanam.
बहुत
Mala Janu Vilambitam. Very beautiful. Pari- Parijat has a tree which has beautiful white colored flowers, and the flowers of this Parijat, the garland was prepared. The what was the size of the garland? Sometimes people make so small garland that it doesn't even enter the head of the person. So, but this garland was till the knees. Janu Vilambita means till the thigh, or sorry, till the knee. And Radhaji was ecstatic and she put the garland in Lord Shri Krishna's head. And Lord Sri Hari or Lord Shri Krishna put the garland in Srimati Radharani's head.
श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, श्री राधा कृष्ण विवाह महामहोत्सव की। अब राधा ने अपना काम कर लिया, कृष्ण ने अपना काम कर लिया,
Radha and Krishna and Brahmaji performed all what was required, and we all are the attendees. So, what is left for us? It is mentioned in the next verse here in front of your screen. So, in this manner, when in today's day, Brahmaji married Sri Radharani and Krishna, and all the demigods manifested in the sky. So demigods are always looking for such an opportunity. So they all gathered there and they were all overwhelmed and ecstatic, and they all started playing the musical instruments, and from the sky they started showering with flowers, and the Gandharvas started singing, and all the devotees started dancing. Vyasmuni writes in the end that whoever on this day of Falgun Mas Dvitiya, somebody listens to the pastimes or dances, then they will never face any obstacle or envy in their married life. And if you all want your married life to be auspicious, then let's stand together and dance on Harinam Sankirtana.
मेरी स्वामिनी, मैं राधे को दास, जन्म जन्म मोहे दीजियो, श्री वृंदावन वास। राधा तू बड़ भागिनी, कौन तपस्या की, तीनों लोक के नाथ है, सो तेरो वाधीन, सो तेरो वाधीन। जय Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Rishi and Radhika.
आप सभी भक्तों का
I welcome you all on the first day of the Shrimad Bhagavatam Katha. Once more, I welcome you all and our humble obeisances at your lotus feet.
इस परिवार में राधा श्याम सुंदर प्रभु
In this
के
family,
आशीर्वाद से
by the blessings of Sri Radha, Syam Sundar Prabhuji and their effort, this whole family
ગુજરાતીમાં વેવાઈ કહેવાય તો इनके
in Gujarati
माताजी के पिता फिर वो
we call Vivai, that is there.
बड़े एग्रेसिव रहते हैं प्रचार करने में
So Prabhuji is very aggressive in preaching,
प्रचार करते हुए
and
पूरे भव्य परिवार को भक्ति
with
साधना
this
में नियुक्त कर दिया है
family, he is
ऐसे बड़ी लोगों
absorbing them all
का
in
आशीर्वाद जिस परिवार
the
में हो
Bhagavad
वो परिवार
frame. And when you have the blessings of
उन्नति करता ही है
such
अपने अध्यात्म जीवन में
devotees,
परम उन्नति
so they don't only progress in their material life but also in their spiritual life.
वैसे पारुल माता जी की बड़ी कामना थी
So Parul Mataji had a desire that we should do 10th canto,
भागवत के दशम स्कंध से
and from
भ्रमर
there
की कथा हो
we should listen to the songs of the bee.
अब कौवे की जुबान से भौरे का गीत तो हम तो दूर दूर तक नहीं सोच सकते
I cannot even imagine
और दूसरी बात
to
ये
speak
है
on
कि
such a
जब
deep
हम कुछ बोलते हैं
topic,
तो उस
and when we
चीज का
speak
अनुभव
something,
करके बोलते हैं
then
प्रायः
we
हमारा
speak,
प्रयास होता है
usually we try to
कि भाई
speak what
इमली
we
खट्टी होती है
experience.
तो इमली खाई है खट्टापन
So
पता है
if we
और
have
फिर
tasted the
बोलते
tamarind
हैं तो वो थोड़ा सा
and then you
बोलने
say
वाले को
that
सुनने वाले
this
को
is
थोड़ा
sour,
फीलिंग होती
then
है
there is an
जो चीज
expression
स्वयं अनुभव
in that.
करते हैं और
So
फिर
whenever
बोलते हैं तो
we
उसमें
have
अपना
experienced
भाव होता
something,
है अपना अनुभव
that
होता है
and then we tell that is potent.
लेकिन एक तो ये गोपिया હવે આટલા મોટા માણસો
So,
દાઢીમાં હાથ નાખવાનો આપણે
so it is such a
ગોપીઓ का भाव
huge
फिर
topic
गोपियों का विरह
that we have to talk about
ये तो
the gopis, and
कुल
that too in
मिलाकर
the mellow of separation.
कृपा करें और क्षमा करें
So please forgive
हम
me in
निरंतर
advance
चेष्टा करने जा
that
रहे हैं
we are trying to
क्योंकि
do
इतने ऊंचे गीत
what we have not, we are no qualification to discuss.
वैसे तो हम समझ ही नहीं पाएंगे
Although we won't be able to understand the mood of the gopis
और जब वो मूड और भाव
of
से
Raja,
बोलेंगे तब तो वो तोते की तरह हो जाएगा
and if we speak without experiencing, then it won't have any expression or feelings, and it will be like
है कि भाई आज नहीं तो कब
speaking like a parrot. So, but still, we have
की तरह ही उड़ता रहेगा
agreed
जीवन में कभी नहीं
that
जाएगा
we should try to
तो
listen
यूं
about
तो
it.
मैं मेरी बात कर रहा हूँ
So I'm talking about
कि
myself here.
अनधिकार चेष्टा है
So I feel
लेकिन फिर भी
unqualified to
साहस कर
speak
रहा हूँ
this, but still
क्योंकि
I am
मैंने मेरे गुरु को सुना है
doing a courageous
और
act
गुरुदेव ने
as
ऐसे
I have heard
भागवत के प्रमुख
my
विषयों
Guru
पर
Maharaj, and
घंटों
my
भर
upper Guru Maharaj had
अपना अपना खून देकर अपना जीवन का
used
सर्वस्व
his
अर्पण करके
blood and
हम प्रद्युम्न को
has
भी साथ में है हम सब लोग साथ में
used
रहते थे खड़िया में हरिद्वार में
all, his energies to speak on these deep, intense topics. And I cannot claim that I have drank everything, but I have seen this mellow in midst of the Rasik or exalted devotees of the Lord. So only Guru Maharaj gone and devotees can understand. It's an extreme mercy or blessings that our Guru Maharaj, Sri Radha Govind Guru Maharaj, I have heard him and so many other exalted devotees by sitting at their feet. And when we see what they have experienced, and you all are sadhakas and you listen with so much interest for 2 hours. That is why I'm speaking here. Because when we do perform some
और उस ऊंचे धरातल पर
austerity, then our mind becomes open and our heart is purified. And in that situation, when we listen, then only we can get a glimpse of this deep mellows of the damsels of Raja, that is the gopis.
आचार्य के मुख से उनके चरणों में बैठकर हमने कुछ सुना है और इसी से मैं कुछ बोलने का साहस करने
So I'm trying to speak by speaking on what we have heard, although I feel so much unqualified to speak about this topic. So I haven't not studied because I am speaking and understanding the initial chapters or cantos of Shrimad Bhagavatam. But what I have so far heard, I will try to share it with you all. So, the 10th canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam is, so there are 10 topics in Shrimad Bhagavatam. In Bhagvat Gita, there are 5 elements or tattva. So, if someone asks you to tell in 5 words, then there are 5 elements that are discussed in Bhagavad Gita.
श्रीमद् भगवत गीता के क्या कहते हैं जीव.
So the 5 elements are the jiva, that is the living entity, soul, that is atma, paramatma is the Lord. I speak so much that, but I am not able to remember because I have been so much focused on studying about the Bhramar Geet. So, by your mercy, I cannot forget. I was just trying to humor you all. So, Bhagavad Gita has these 5 elements. Ishvara, that is the Lord. Jeev, living entity. Prakriti, the material nature. Kal is time, and karma, actions. So, all these are discussed in Bhagavad Gita in detail. Similarly, in Shrimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 elements or tattva, that is
मनवंतरेशानु कथा निरोध मुक्ति आश्रय। श्रीमद् भागवत में क्रमशः 10 तत्व।
So, Shrimad Bhagavatam has 10 elements that are
मनवंतर, ईशानुग्रह, निरोध, मुक्ति और आश्रय, 10 तत्व। श्रीमद् भागवतम का ये जो दशम स्कंध है जिस पर हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे, संवाद करेंगे,
the 10th canto of the Shrimad Bhagavatam on which we are going to discuss is, so Sripad Vallabhacharya has focused on this because it is called a Nirodh Tattva or element, and if we have to explain in one sentence, then how we are going to explain it? Nirodh Tattva means that living entities action or goal to reach the Lord. Although Nirodh is a negative word because it means that it is a negative word, but if we go into the negativity, then you will get messed up. That Nirodh means to detach yourself from material things, and we have to control our senses. We have to control our mind. So people will get bewildered. But if you don't do anything, or if you just listen to the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna of the 10th canto, then you will automatically achieve all of these things, because this 10th canto is Nirodh Tattva or element, and whoever takes the shelter of this 10th canto, all his senses will be attached to the Lord himself. So you must contemplate that when all the energies or activities of a living entity are attached to the Lord, so that is externally, but internally, vritti means that whatever the desires are attached to Krishna. So it means that if we love, then we should love only Lord Shri Krishna. And if we want to share our joy and ecstasy, or play, or eat, that also we should, all the activities should be centered around Krishna. And if we get upset or we fight, then we should do it with the Lord. That is the stage of the gopis of Vraja, the damsels of Vraja. So these gopis, they don't fight or argue unnecessarily. There is so I am just laying down the foundation. We need to understand. So previously we did a cruise proclivity, and as soon as we entered the cruise, I slept there. And people were gathering, and there was an announcement: if you don't come outside, then we will open your door and come inside. Sorry. And for 90 minutes, they were explaining what we should do in the cruise, and what should we do in the stage of emergency, etc.
तो हम लोग भी अब कूदने जा रहे हैं,
So now we are about to jump.
भरने जा रहे हैं.
We are about to fly so high. So before that, I'm just trying to prepare you all mentally and lay the foundation so that we all can grasp.
श्रीमद् भागवत का दशम स्कंध निरोध
So
तत्व है.
the 10th canto of Shrimad Bhagavatam, Nirodhatva, and it means that to control or to attach all our activities and desires to Krishna. And even if we have to fight, then that also should be done with the Lord Himself. So this stage of mellow, and the Lord accepts the devotee in whatever state they are. Once upon a time, a man said that everything is okay, but Ramji didn't do one thing correctly, or it was not good. So he said what he should not do. But Ram and Ravan were fighting. Ravan had a big chariot, but Ramji never had a chariot, and he was standing on the ground and he was attacking Ravana, and Ravana was almost to be defeated when then demigods manifested and Lord Indra came. And he started to offering his chariot. No, now it's no use. They've already about to win the battle. But people who are selfish or materialist, they will see first that whoever is powerful, we will support them. So when Ramji was about to win the war, then that time the demigods appeared. They should have started, they should have come before the battle has started, but they came only after the battle was about to be over. So the person said beautifully, Ki such Lord Indra should have been made run. Ramji accepted his Indra's chariot, and on that chariot he attacked 21 times on Ravana, and Ravana eventually got killed. So that person said that if I had been in that place instead of Ramji, then I wouldn't have accepted the chariot of Lord Indra. So that is what is the difference between an ordinary man and the Lord. We don't accept people as they are, but the Lord accepts everyone, even though if they're materialist or sense gratification, engaged in sense gratification, but the Lord accepts them all. And the 10th canto is filled with these pastimes of the Lord. Putna came to kill the Lord, but he made her his own mother. He liberated so many demons and accepted them. And all the good people like Nand Baba, Yashoda Mai, etc. were also accepted. So in total, I want to say that the 10th canto's pastimes teach us how to attach ourselves to the Lord. So the pastime is such that Lord Sri Krishna, after staying for 11.5 years in Braj Nindavan and performing so many pastimes and proclivities, Akrurji came and he took Balramji and Lord Sri Krishna along with him. So the gopis of the Braja and the Gopas of Rajas try to stop them, but Krishna promised that I will come back soon. I have some work. So he said that I will come day after tomorrow, but he didn't turn up for years. And he went to Mathura. When he went to Mathura, so Nand Baba and the elders, residents of Raja, or this is a general event, so we should also go. So Nand Baba, etc., also reached there. Kans got killed. The goal was fulfilled by Lord Shri Krishna. And see the sacrifice of the denizens of Raja. Nand Baba was mentally prepared that I have come with Lala. Now all the demons have been killed. So now I can take him back to Gokul. Nand Baba said that let's go back to Gokul. So this is not a place where we should stay. So Krishna tells Nand Baba, I need to pacify so many people. I have not given any happiness to Devaki and Vasudev, and I have to fulfill my responsibilities. You go to Vraj.
वापस आ जाएंगे.
We will
अब
come
देखो,
after a few days.
ये श्लोक में भागवत में लिखा है
So it's mentioned in Bhagavatam. Krishna told Nand Baba that you go back, I will come after a few days. And the same thing he promised to the gopis or the residents of Raja, the damsels. But both verses are there in Bhagavatam. But you all know that he never returned. He said that I will come, but he was not, if he was not supposed to go, then why did he promise that I will go? Why did he lie? Although in the opening statement of Bhagavatam, he says that he's the absolute personality of truth. So we can accuse Lord Shri Krishna that you lied and you call yourself the supreme absolute truth. So this question was raised by the Acharyas in the Shrimad Bhagavatam. He promised Nand Baba and the gopis both. Then why did he didn't keep his promise? And the reason was only one. Had he not said that I will come, then Nand Baba would not have sustained and would have died. And he told the gopis that I will not come, then the gopis might have left their bodies. So this just one promise or statement of Krishna that gave them hope that I will come, and it bounded them with hope, and it bounded their bodies with their souls. As Krishna has promised that I will come, as Shabriji used to wait and daily used to do preparations to welcome Lord Ram, Similarly, the damsels of Vraja used to decorate Vraj uh, and in anticipation of Krishna coming back. In this manner, Lord Sri Krishna said, I will come because otherwise the damsels would have died. He gave them hope and he started fulfilling his responsibilities. Now, what happened? In Mathura, he freed his father and mother, Devaki and Vasudev, who were imprisoned since he was born. They have not felt any happiness in entire life.
देवकी वसुदेव ने देखा कि
And
कृष्ण
he
और
started
बलराम
to
पढ़े
stay with them.
सर्वप्रथम तो कृष्ण और बलराम का यज्ञोपवीत संस्कार कराया, कृष्ण और बलराम को जनोई पहनाई, मुंडन कराया।
Devaki and Vasudev took care of all the rituals and
कृष्ण और बलराम को पढ़ने के लिए भेजा।
sent them to the hermitage of Sandipani Muni. So they were all, although Krishna was tied with the principles to, he wanted to portray the principles. That is why he stayed there for 64 days. So another point here, he came back to Mathura. He promised strongly to 4 people, which are mentioned in Shrimad Bhagavatam. So the first Gop and Gopis in Vraja, second Nand Baba, third Akrurji was also promised. So when Krishna Balram came to Mathura, Akrurji invited them to his home. They said that no, we will come after
और चौथा कुब्जा को वादा किया था।
we finish everything. So Akrurji was also promised that we will visit your home. So after 64 days, when they have finished their education, so Krishna was supposed to fulfill all these promises.
किसी के घर पर नहीं गए, किसी को नहीं मिले,
But
चारों में से किसी
Krishna never fulfilled any of these promises. So there could be a question that Braj was still far, so he couldn't fulfill the desire or promise of damsels of Raja and Raj. But what about Kupcha and Akrur? They were the residents of Mathura. So at least that promise could have been fulfilled. But Krishna didn't do that as well. Since the day he's back, Lord Shri Krishna is anxious, and on the banks of Yamuna Ji, he goes and he weeps vehemently.
जब किसी व्यक्ति के जीवन में दुख होता है ना, वो दुख 2-5
Let me share one thing. When we express our sadness in front of 4-5 people, then it gets reduced. If we share our agony with our guru or our spouse, then or friend, then the distress gets absolved. But when the Lord Himself is facing distress, then where should He go? Everybody share their distress and problems with the Lord, but with whom should the Lord share His obstacles and distress? So Krishna, somebody would say that he could have shared this with someone. There is a principle that a devotee who is in Madhurya Bhav cannot understand the mellows of Aishwarya Bhav
मथुरा ठहरी ऐश्वर्यमय नगरी,
or the opulence form. So the form, the Vraj is with the mellow of love. So how can he share his feelings of ecstasy in front of the residents of Mathura who are in the Aishwarya Bhav or the magnificence form? So one day on the banks of Yamuna, a lotus flower came towards Lord and he picked it and he started to smell it and he started crying vehemently. And Srila Jiva Goswami, this is not any imaginary tale. Jiva Goswami says that this lotus came from Barsana and it has touched Srimati Radharani and it had the sandalwood and saffron paste of Srimati Radharani and it came to Lord
आंसुओं को रोक नहीं सकते थे और
Shri Krishna. And
में
Lord Shri Krishna is overwhelmed with emotion. And at the same moment, Uddhavji arrives coincidentally. He is the friend of Mathura, Uddhav, whose name is mentioned as Vrishninam, means he is a minister of Varshni Kula or dynasty. He used to give advice to them and he was so intelligent that he was a disciple of Lord Brihaspati, who is the guru of the demigods. So Brihaspati ji has so many disciples. So usually Brihaspati ji never used to teach them directly, but here Sakshat means that he was the direct disciple of Brihaspati ji. Uddhav ji had knowledge that a devotee, listen carefully, a devotee cries in the mellow of separation and the Lord feels the devotee feels the 8 ecstatic signs of love. So Uddhav ji was aware of that, but he was astonished that the Lord was, that a devotee can cry in mellow of separation towards Lord, but I have never had or learned that the Lord himself is crying in mellow of separation of the devotees. Uddhavji couldn't understand. And then he says or tells to Krishna, why are you crying? Why are you so overwhelmed? So Lord Shri Krishna answers beautifully in front of your screen.
उधो मोहि ब्रज बिसरत नाही. आस्वादन कीजिए. हेजी ऊधो मोही बज बिसरत नाय वृंदावन गोकुल तनयावत सधन त्रिनन की चाही ब्रज बिसरत नाही। उधो उधो मोही ब्रज।
Uddhav,
सूरदास जी का ये पद है भक्तों, बिल्कुल प्रामाणिक
I
भागवत के शब्द।
cannot forget Vraja. So these are the words from Bhagvatam.
ब्रज बिसरत नाही, मुझसे ब्रज भूला नहीं जा
He
रहा।
says that
उधो
I
में
cannot
भूल
forget
नहीं पा रहा।
Vraja.
इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ?
I'm unable to forget them. So
उधो में
what is the meaning of that? Acharya says that
लेकिन ब्रज
that means that Krishna says that I'm trying hard to forget Vraja, but I'm unable to do so. So if Uddhavji asks that, what is there that you cannot forget? So he says that
सधन त्रिनन
Vrindavan
मुझे
Gokul.
वृंदावन के वो वृक्ष और
I
वृंदावन के
even
वो
remember
वृक्ष
the
की छाँव
trees
याद
of
आती है उद्धव।
Vraj, and
ब्रज के
their
वृक्ष की जो छाँव है ना, वो छाँव मुझे याद आती
shadow,
है। मुझे
I remember them all.
प्रात समय माता जसुमती अरु नंद देखी सुख पावत अरु नंद देखी सुख पावत माखन रोटी दयो सजायो अति अतिहित साथ भिखावत मोहि ब्रज बिसरत नाही। उद्धव जब
Oh,
सुबह
Uddhav, I cannot forget the shade of the trees, and in the times of morning, my mother Yashoda and my father Nand Maharaj, I used to see their faces and I used to feel ecstatic and blissful after seeing them both. The world is filled with beauty, but the beauty of the parents is uncomparable to anything. And seeing them in the wee hours of the morning, Krishna,
माखन रोटी दयो सजायो, मुझे माखन और रोटी देती थी
and she used to offer me
मेरे हित के लिए।
the butter and chapati, and for my benefit, she used to feed me, even though if I refused her, then also she would say that you eat, if you eat, then your hair will become as long as Balramji's hair. And somewhere or other, she used to feed me.
बाल संग खेलत सब दिन हंसत सिरा सूरदास धनी धनी ब्रजवासी जिन सो हंसत ब्रजनाथ मोहि ब्रज बिसरत नाही। हे उद्धव, मुझे गोपियों की
Oh,
याद।
Uddhav, I remember the damsels of Raja, the gopis, and my friends, the Gwal, whom I used to play. I used to laugh with them, play with
सूरदास जी अंत में कहते हैं कि
them, I used to enjoy with them so much. And they are really great and magnificent that amidst them the Lord Himself used to love. And amongst Mathura, He used to cry. So, in this way, Krishna tells Uddhav, I cannot forget Raja. Uddhavji says, listen carefully, because Uddhavji is knowledgeable, so he says that you should not cry for them. They are all temporary. This is just a few days attraction, and by the passing of time, eventually this pain will subdue as well. With time, so many things are forgotten. Sorry. So Krishna says that these Brijvasis or denizens of Raja love me
कि ब्रजवासियों का प्रेम सच्चा नहीं है.
unconditionally. Uddhavji says that I can promise you or claim that their love is not pure. Had they been in so much ecstasy of separation, they should have died. And now that you're separated from them, they should have all died. So if there is love, then Krishna answers in Bhagavatam. Krishna answers. So if it's the question from us, then also we should listen. If the inhabitants of Raja loved Krishna so dearly, they should have lost their life. So still they are, why they are embodied with the body? Krishna replies, you don't know, Uddhav. They have hold their breath or soul. They are living in so much pain. Atikritchen, extreme difficulty. They have tried to keep their soul inside their bodies. Somehow they have saved their life. Why? Because I have promised that I will come. So, because they trust me so much, they have hope that I will fulfill their my promise. And that is the reason that they have not died yet. Devotees, your heart will melt when you will listen that. Then Krishna sent Nand Baba back, and when Nand Baba came alone, Yashoda was waiting for Krishna, that Nand Baba will bring Krishna and Balramji back. But she saw that Nand Baba was coming all alone. After seeing him all alone, Yashodamai said only one thing. Krishna and Balram didn't came back. Nand Maharaj said, no, they couldn't. So Yashodaji says that Krishna stayed back in Mathura and you were able to reach here safely. So Yashodamai was filled with overwhelmed emotions and sadness. And Maharaj said that I understood what you're trying to say, that although I left Krishna, but still I'm alive. But Krishna has promised that he will come. So day after tomorrow, or after that, whenever he comes, if he comes and if he don't see us, then he will cry and he will feel distress that my father has died. And if Krishna will cry or he'll become sad, I cannot tolerate that. That is why I'm trying to live. Otherwise, I don't have desire to live.
भागवत का ये श्लोक सिद्ध हो रहा है, धारियंती अति कृच्छेण प्रसंग
Daryanti Ati Krichin, with extreme difficulty.
इस प्रसंग से हमारी प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में भी बहुत सुंदर
So
समझने लायक है।
this is a very beautiful proclivity from where we can understand to apply in our life. So this pastime is very useful for us to understand.
तो भक्त लोग कृष्ण के साथ खेले कूदे,
When we have association with Krishna, then we get happy and ecstatic. But what happens when we suffer the mellows of separation?
क्या होता है?
Then what will a devotee do?
भक्त का मूड क्या होता है?
And what will be their mood?
कृष्ण की विरह वियोग लीला से ही पता चलता है। और
This can be
भक्तों
understood by this
है नहीं,
10th canto
अर्थ ये हुआ कि कृष्ण हमारे साथ भी नहीं है।
from this pastime.
तो एक दृष्टि से
So,
हमारा भी कृष्ण से विरह है।
so, so we are also separated from Lord.
शुद्ध भक्तों ने क्या किया?
So what his pure devotees have done during the mellow of separation, what did they used to do whole day? And Krishna also is not with us also, so we should also get encouragement what we should do in the mood of separation with Krishna, as we too are separated from him.
उद्धव जी ने कहा तो प्रभु अब मैं क्या कर सकता? अब मित्र
Uddhavji said that because he's a friend, he said, I cannot tolerate your distress. Please tell me, what can I do for you? Krishna said, I cannot go to Vraja, but you can go and visit them.
और ब्रजवासियों को समझाओ।
You go there and make them understand
किस किस को
and pacify them.
दे दीजिए।
So Uddhavji asked, give me the list of people whom you want to explain. Because he was confident that I have knowledge and I can convince them.
बहुत सुंदर बात, दिल को छूने वाली बात।
This is heart touching.
दिया तो क्रम क्या था? ये
Krishna
भी जिज्ञासा होगी।
gave the list. What was the order
किस किस को
in that
समझाना है?
list?
तो सबसे पहले कहा कि
So the first and foremost
बाबा को
was
समझाना है।
is Nand Baba.
पहले नंद को समझाना है। एक बाप होता है ना, बाप
A father
से बहुत प्रेम करता है,
who loves the
लेकिन वो
son
जताता नहीं है।
too much, but he never expresses his emotions.
अपना समर्पण
Mother
के बिना रह नहीं सकती।
often expresses their emotions, but the father
गुना अधिक एक बाप प्रेम करता है।
loves many folds, but he never expresses or reveals his love.
सिद्धांत कन्हैया जानता है।
This is what Lord himself is aware.
इसलिए क्रम जब देना हुआ, उद्धव
So,
पहले
in the list,
से तुम मिलना,
he started with Nand Maharaj.
फिर यशोदा से मिलना,
Then he said,
उसके बाद
Yashoda Rani.
गोपियों से मिलना। सीखो आज के बच्चों के लिए भी सीखने,
Then the damsels of Raja, the gopis.
जवान पीढ़ियों के लिए भी सीखने लायक।
So it is there to we should understand. Never said straight away that go to the gopis. No, he said that first you should go to my parents and then to the gopis.
भक्तों 100 साल, अब ये घटना घटी, इसके 100 साल के बाद कृष्ण का मिलन इन लोगों के साथ हुआ।
After this pastime, 100 years later, Krishna met these people in Kurukshetra. He met all the denizens of Braja. And when they met there also was a process or list. So usually a person, when he gets married, he straight away goes to the bedroom to meet his wife. But Krishna
बाबा से मिले, फिर अपनी यशोदा
is teaching us in Kurukshetra. First of all, he met Nand Maharaj and then Yashoda Mai, and after that he met the gopis. Shripad Jiv Goswami says in the Kram Sandarbha, Jiv Goswami did an amazing job. He said that why this order in to meet people. So there are two reasons which are mentioned by Jiv Goswami, the Acharya of upper disciplic succession. He said that this is the order they should meet. Whenever we meet our beloved, we should have our mind that in which order we should meet them.
कि सबसे पहले वडिलों को मिलना चाहिए, सबसे पहले जो वरिष्ठ हैं, जो वडील हैं, माँ बाप हैं, उनको मिलना चाहिए और फिर आगे बढ़। जीव गोस्वामी का ये कहना। और प्रेमा भक्ति के स्तर पर
So the first and foremost we should meet our elders.
कि जब हम स्वजनों से मिलते हैं, सिद्धांत सुनिएगा, तो
This is the philosophy or principle that we should listen and follow.
ध्यान रखिएगा, जिसको सबसे अधिक प्रेम करते हैं उसको लास्ट में मिलना चाहिए। कभी कभी हमारा क्या होता है, हम लोग ये सिद्धांत को जानते नहीं है, इसलिए जब कोई गुरु
So when the second principle is that the whom we love the most, we should meet them at
अरे गर्व लेने की जरूरत है, अंत में मिलना मतलब अधिक प्रेम है उनका आपसे। भगवान का भी यही है ना, भगवान किसको मिलते हैं, जिसकी ज्यादा भक्ति होती है उसको बहुत देरी से आते हैं, समय लगाते हैं। अच्छा, जीव गोस्वामी ने कहा कि जिससे अधिक प्रेम होता है उनको लास्ट में मिलना चाहिए। तो जीव गोस्वामी को पूछा ऐसा क्यों? बहुत सुंदर बात कही कि जिससे अधिक प्रेम होगा उसको आप पहले मिल लोगे,
So the person whom we love, and if we meet them first, then we won't be able to meet others, because you won't be able to behave properly in order. So the person we love the most, we should meet them at last. This is the same thing which was happened in Ramayan.
भरत जी का स्थान है, राम के भाई भरत, अद्भुत भक्ति
Yes.
भरत की, भरत का जो समर्पण,
The gopis had so much love for Krishna. Similarly, Bharat Maharaj had sacrificed everything for Lord. He had the mood of the gopis.
14 वर्ष के बाद अयोध्या वापस, ध्यान से सुनिएगा, जब जब
Ramji killed Ravana and gave the kingdom to Vibhishana.
तो विभीषण ने कहा, प्रभु आप कुछ दिन यहाँ रुक जाइए,
Vibhishanji said that you should stay here with us for this, because we have been roaming in the forest and now please give us a chance to serve you. But
कि विभीषण
what did Ramji said to Vibhishan?
के बिना नहीं रह पाऊंगा,
He said that I cannot stay without Bharat and Bharat cannot live without me. I have to go back for Bharat.
बात भी सत्य थी, भरत जी ने क्या कहा था कि
And that was true because Bharatji has said that
भी ज्यादा हुई,
even if you spend more than 1 second than 14 years, then you will see me dead. If you
लेकिन एक मिनट भी अधिक
said that you want to follow the righteousness and you are adamant, then you should go. But I'm counting each second. That was the love of Bharat towards Sri Ram.
ये छोटे छोटे पॉइंट बड़ी
So please try to remember these the simple, small points.
अब राम जी पुष्पक विमान में
We don't discuss usually in
विमान में बैठी, ये रामायण
great topics.
ये श्लोकों में ये सब बात
So this is all mentioned in Ramayana. So Ramji sat in the Pushpak Vimana,
यहाँ पर भी मिलने 14 वर्ष के बाद अब मिलना था,
and there again is an order in which Lord Ram met them.
गुरु
after 14 years of separation. So first of all, he met his bona fide spiritual master, that is Guru Vishisht. And then he met his mothers. And the height was that he first met Kekaiji first and foremost in mothers. Then he went to Sumitra, and then he went to Kaushalya. And after meeting them all, he met Bharatji at last. And what did he had said? That I am going to meet Bharat. But he came to Ayodhya to meet Bharat. But first he met all these people, and then he
सिद्धांत ये है कि सबसे अधिक प्रेम करोगे
went to meet Bharat. So the whole person whom you love the most, you'll meet at the last. When Ramji met Bharatji, they spent hours together. Sugriv, etc. came and said that now Bharatji is with you, you can proceed further.
कृष्ण ने उद्धव को कहा कि उद्धव इस क्रम से नंद यशोदा और गोपियों को तुम मिलना। उद्धव जी ने कहा तो अब नए काम में देरी किसकी? सुबह
This
शशि
way,
मैं चलूं? रुको 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 उद्धव, तुम ऐसे मत जाओ।
Krishna told Uddhavji that in this order you meet them all. So Uddhavji said that, okay, let me just proceed. So Krishnaji said that, no, wait for a while, don't go like this.
किसी को कहेंगे नहीं, ये भी एक बहुत भारी सिद्धांत। हमारा क्या है ना, हमारे अंदर कोई
Gopis will never share their feelings. We have no feelings or love, but yet we demonstrate that we saw the Lord. A person who has seen the Lord, they'll have different.
अच्छा है, वाणी में है तो कल शरीर में होगा। हाँ? इतना तो अच्छा है, लेकिन कहने का अर्थ यह है जो प्रेम करेगा वो दिखाएगा नहीं। हमारा क्या है ना, हम
A
छिपाते
person who has emotions will never show. We don't hide our expressions, we demonstrate them. These bhakti and the mellows should be kept hidden. The more you demonstrate these feelings and you show to the world, then they will get reduced. If you want to keep them safe, then we should keep them hidden. So Krishna said that if you go there, they will not tell you directly that we love you so much. A lover never says that I love so much. So, so to get them reveal their emotion, you should dress like me. He took him to his palace and he gave his own clothes to Uddhav ji. He gave all the ornaments, Vajanti Mala, etc. to him. And Krishna gave all his dresses and dress and
यशोदा और गोपिया उद्धव के सामने खुली और खुलकर बात।
ornaments, etc. And Uddhavji is now looking like Lord Krishna himself. So by seeing Uddhavji as Krishna, they could reveal their heart. So Uddhavji is going there to send the message to the gopis to give them some knowledge. So a person who wants to give the message of the Lord, then they should represent the Lord, then you should have some decorum. A person who is listening, when he sees the preacher, should remember the Lord, or he is reminded of the Lord. So this is why Uddhavji dressed as Lord Shri Krishna. So we should have our behavior like the Lord and his devotees. So in this manner, Uddhavji starts. So Krishna is trying to fulfill or kill two birds with one arrow. So first is he wants to reveal the mood of gopis, and the second is because Uddhavji had little bit of pride because he was from heaven. He wanted to reveal to Uddhavji that love is far greater than knowledge. So if one could have asked that Uddhavji could have been given the direct knowledge from Lord as he spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Similarly, he could have done the same with Uddhavji. He said that Arjun is a clean slate, but a person who has so much knowledge, and if you want to give knowledge, then their ego gets hurt. I have dealt with so many
अब ये ठहरे इतने बड़े ज्ञानी और कृष्ण उद्धव को
these knowledgeable people, because so if Uddhavji talks directly about knowledge, then maybe Uddhavji might get his ego hurt. So Uddhavji had knowledge, but that was theoretical knowledge, not practical. So he wanted to give him the practical knowledge. He wanted to see, he wanted Uddhavji to see the mood of ecstasy of the damsels of Raja. So once upon a time, there was a sadhu was asked that, "What does your Lord do?" So a person could understand that this man is filled with ego and he's a materialist. So, so sadhu understood that the tone of this question. He said that you're asking this question. You want to ask this
शिष्य बनकर पूछ रहा हूँ
as a disciple or a master. So he said that I'm a king, so that is my tone. So he said, what should be the position of a guru and what should be the position of disciple? No, he said that who is the guru? He said, you. So he said, don't you think this is incorrect? So you should be in my position and I should sit on your position, and I will not take your kingdom. I just want to give you the answer. That is why I need your throne. I don't need any your kingdom. So the king agreed, and the guru wa- stood. The guru sat on the throne, and the king went down. He asked again. He said that I have given you the practical. He said, this is what my Lord does. He can make a beggar or pauper a king, and a pauper a king to a pauper. This is what Krishna wanted to do. He wanted to give the practical knowledge to Uddhavji. Uddhavji started at the same moment,
5 बजे उद्धव ब्रज में पहुंचे
and he reached there by 4:30 to Vraja. And what happened? We will listen that tomorrow. Govind TV was getting updated, so it took some time. So from tomorrow we will be on time and we'll listen to the divine pastimes and we will make our life great. I would like to thank you all who are listening with so much love and mellows. Especially would like to thank the organizers, the Chatuk Bhai and the family,
Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Prabhu,
Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Savita Ben,
Amit Kumar,
Bhumika Ben, Kumar,
Sunil Prabhu, Parul Mata,
Sunil Prabhu, Parul Mata,
Sanjay Kumar,
Manisha Ben.
आप सभी भक्तों को धन्यवाद।
I thank you all
का आयोजन करके
for organizing such a beautiful
पूरी जनता
pastime.
का एक
That
कल्याणमय कार्य किया है।
this is a
जय जय
work of welfare. So let's conclude the session with Jai Jaikar, the first day of this Katha.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद